because of the bigger sensor. Hi friends, welcome back to HK Shutter Frames. This is going to be a comparison between the Vivo X100 Pro and the latest model X200 Pro. By the end of this video, you will have an idea whether you should upgrade to the X200 Pro or not. Without any delay, let's get started. As usual, we will start with the technical specifications of both cameras. The X100 Pro comes with a main camera 50 megapixel 1-inch sensor corresponds to 23 mm focal range, whereas the X200 Pro comes with a 50 megapixel 1x1.28 inch sensor corresponds to 23 mm focal range. Next we have the telephoto zoom lens. The X100 Pro had a 50 megapixel 1x2.51 inch sensor corresponds to 100 mm focal range, while the X200 Pro comes with a 200 megapixel 1x1.4 inch sensor corresponds to 85 mm focal range. As per the ultra-wide angle, both have the same 50 megapixel 1x2.76 inch sensor corresponds to 15 mm focal range. As per the video performance, both can shoot 8K up to 30 frames per second, but the X200 Pro can shoot 4K up to 120 fps, whereas the X100 can shoot only up to 4K 60 fps. As per the front-facing camera, both comes with a 32 megapixel f2 corresponds to 20 mm focal range and can shoot video 4K 60 fps. Let's see the actual difference in the camera performance. I expected a huge difference in the main camera, as the 1-inch sensor has been downgraded to a 1x1.2 inch sensor, but except for some color difference and contrast, you can see there is not much difference in the image quality. Even when you take the 2x zoom, the 46 mm focal range, both comes with a very slight difference except in the contrast and sharpness. In the low light situations also, the X200 Pro with its smaller sensor compared to the X100 Pro manages to keep the same image quality as the X100 Pro. Here we can see a clear difference in the image quality compared to X100 Pro. Thanks to the bigger 1x1.4 inch sensor, the X200 Pro excels in telephoto even when you are going for 10x or 20x zoom. It becomes more evident in the low light situations, as with the bigger sensor comes with a great low light performance also. There is not much difference in the ultra-wide angle, as both has the same sensor, and except for some color differences, both remains the same. There is a huge difference in the rendering of portraits compared to the X100 Pro. The skin details has been retained without much smoothening of compared to the X100 Pro. I think this is a great thing, as many people were not a fan of the oil painting like smoothing done on the X100 Pro. As you can see, the Vivo has upgraded the macro performance with the new telephoto lens. The images packs more details and contrast. So far so good for the X200 Pro, but when it comes to video performance, I think there has been a slight downgrade in terms of video stabilization. As you can see here, there is kind of a jittery motion you can see in the X200 Pro. I hope this will be rectified in a future software update, but as of now, the stabilization is not that good compared to the X100 Pro. Other than that, the X200 Pro managed to get the 4K 120 fps in the video performance as well as the log profile. a very good improvement has been done on the front facing camera compared to the X100 Pro, as it was one of the downsides the previous one had, and the X200 Pro has managed to improve that to a certain extent, and I think Vivo has managed to rectify this issue in the X200 Pro. Now let's take a look at some other changes in the camera UI compared to the X100 Pro. First thing you will notice is there is no separate night mode. So the night mode has been merged with the landscape mode, but I personally prefer the night mode as it had all the different types of settings you needed in one place, like the panoramic vision, the super mode, the astro mode. So all these features were already available in the night mode. But now the landscape mode does not have this astro mode, only that astro portrait mode is there. Next is a small change in the effect master. So when you go to the photo mode and under the settings, you can see that there is a effect master in the X100 Pro. Now this has been changed to effect control. So what it does was previously it was easy to change the exposure and saturation by swiping the screen left and right and upwards and downwards. But now this has been changed to a separate control mode where the contrast, brightness and saturation has been given like separate. I think this is a more time consuming thing to do. I personally like the effect control master better in the X100 Pro. The third is the portrait mode. So in the portrait mode in the X100 Pro, there was an option called postures. So what it does is it will give you some different poses, like for group photos, individuals, selfies. Even though I don't use much, this was a good feature to have for those who want to do portrait shoots and all. As for the final conclusion, I would say the X200 Pro is definitely a great upgrade compared to the X100 Pro, especially in terms of the telephoto lens. So the portraits and macro has been given a good upgrade, as well as in the video performance, it has given the 4K 120 FPS and the log profile. But the only downside is the stabilization, but I hope this will be sorted out in the future software upgrade. So that's all for my today's video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, please share, subscribe and make sure to press the bell button so that you won't miss the latest videos I'll be uploading. Keep shooting. Until next time.